Hello and welcome to Big Brain Time. I am your host, Mr. Campbell, and your other host, Isla, is missing right now. Isla. What did I tell you about teleporting in the house? What are you looking at? What's on the screen? She's my daughter. Okay guys, so before we begin talking about angles and going into the different relationships, I just wanted to kind of just show you an outline of what we're doing. It doesn't look that difficult when you just look at it like this. You have these two different relationships. You're going to have supplementary versus complementary. That's the first thing we're going to cover. And then you have adjacent versus vertical. Right now you're just like, oh, what are these words? They mean nothing. They will mean something very soon, and it'll be very, very easy. So let's just go ahead and get started with supplementary versus complementary. The first thing we're going to talk about is the difference between supplementary angles and complementary angles. It really just comes down to the degrees that they are. Complementary is 90 degrees. So you have a little square there, 90 degrees. Now if you double it, you would get supplementary, which is 180 degrees. Really just look for that straight line. Complementary, corner. Supplementary, straight. So let's just do a sample problem for each so you kind of see, okay, that's complementary, that's supplementary. So our first example here, you see a right triangle, imaginations, remember, and then you just have this ray coming out of it. So we still have our 90 degrees. So this is going to be complementary, 90 degrees, complementary. What you have to do is add these two up, so we need to figure out what is the complementary angle. So we would do this angle, this angle. So this is this, not the measurements. We're not doing anything like that. We're not worried about that. We're doing angles. So we have to add these two up, and it will be out of 90. So we just equal 90. I like to do the equals 90 first. It's kind of like our ending. Then we will just add 2x plus 6 plus 28. Now we have it set up. We combine like terms.
So 6 plus 28 equals 34. And that's going to equal 90. You subtract because we want to get x alone. So we subtract 34. And we will get 2x equals 56. So with 2x plus 56, we do the inverse of multiplying by 2. We divide by 2. And so x equals 28.
That is it when you're doing complementary angles. Nothing more complicated than what you just saw. Now when we're looking at supplementary angles, the only thing that's different is that it's going to be out of 180 degrees. Remember, supplementary straight. You see straight line right here. So 112 plus 2x plus 6 equals, you got it, 180. Let me just make some room here. So it's going to equal 180. You have 112 plus 2x plus 6. Combine like terms, you get
118 plus 2x equals 180. You want to subtract 118 from each, and you get 2x equals 62. At this point, once again, we are trying to isolate x, so we would divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals 31.
Nothing crazy here. Just make sure it's 180. Supplementary is 180. There are different ways to remember whether it's complementary or supplementary. C for complementary equals corner 90 degrees. It has that 90 degree corner. Supplementary, straight line 180 degrees. If you want to be kind of interested with how you change letters, C, complementary, 90 degrees, right? Whoa, look how straight that is. 90 degrees. And then straight, how do you do anything with that? Complementary, 90, straight is 180 degrees. Let's make these little baby zeros. So you have your degrees there. That's another way. Or if you are really into the magic right here, we have two complementary, so they're each 90 degrees. These are each 90 degrees because they're complementary. If you put them together, what do we get? Isla and I realized that we had more songs that you guys could possibly use to wash your hands. Remember, 20 seconds, right? You got to wash your hands for 20 seconds. So this week, I let Isla choose the songs, and here they are.
Creates potato conditions. This is where I'm.
The next pair of angles that we are discussing is adjacent, and then the other one is vertical. So adjacent angles, adjacent means next to. Like hippo is adjacent to unicorn. Looks like they're like riding a bus or something. Adjacent, this angle is next to that angle. Adjacent angles. Vertical angles, a little bit more complicated. You have the V for vertical, this downward is A for angle. So this angle is that angle. And these two guys are congruent. These are congruent. If this is 57 degrees, that's 57 degrees. So they are congruent, and they will always kind of like reflect. When looking at adjacent angles, they are next to each other. So these two are next to each other. They're also both 90 degrees, which means this angle here, that is 180, which is supplementary. This right here, 90 degrees, is complementary. Okay, well, we are dealing with 90 degree angle A minus 10. If we already know that's 90 degrees, then whatever this is going to equal 90 degrees. And so what we'll do is put this A minus 10. This will equal 90.
You add 10 to both sides, and look at that, you already got A equals 100.
It's that easy, guys. We have B up here as an angle. Then we have 43 degrees. There's going to be a lot of math involved because if this is 43 degrees and they were reflecting two parallel lines, B equals, wait for it, 43, you're done. Whatever this is, and vice versa. They are congruent.
Hand sanitizer doesn't feel like she's respected because she doesn't do as much as you. Oh yes I do, I clean hands. And do not fret, you are a very effective way to kill germs. But always washing your hands is better because it keeps you safer from
viruses.
Hey, Isla, what are you working on? A clone machine? What? You know you can't clone yourself. That'd be too crazy. Let's do one last review of our 4 angle types and see if we can figure out some of these as examples in our final review angles, if you will. So supplementary, 180 degrees. Do we see anything here that's 180 degrees? I see a lot. You could go 3 and 4, 2 and 3, 1 and 4. It's wherever you see a straight line. So you can just make your little angle line, and underneath it I'm going to go with 3, 4 for Herschel Walker. 34. Good. We have our supplementary. Remember, 180 degrees. Complementary, 90 degrees. Do we see anything here that's 90 degrees? I do not. So there is no complementary angle here. It has to be 90 degrees. There is none. Adjacent. 2 is next to 3, so you could do angle 2, 3. And then our last one, vertical. Vertical, is there one where you have these 2 lines and it pops over? Well, if 1 equals 126 and it's going over a parallel line, 2 of them, well then x is going to equal 126. Remember, vertical kind of makes that little jump. Like if you're jumping, you're going upwards, that's vertical. And that's it, guys. That is all we're covering. Kobe. Any luck with your clone machine? Nope. All right.
Let's review what we've learned today. Supplemental angles are 180 degrees. Isla can teleport. Complementary angles are 90 degrees. There are a lot of crazy songs out there. Adjacent angles have a common ray and vertex. You need to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Vertical angles are congruent and made by 2 intersecting lines. Using hand soap, hand sanitizer, and disinfectant wipes are effective ways to protect yourself.
Hey, Isla, guess what time it is?